Trapezoidal rule. A trapezoidal rule is one of the methods for approximating a definite integral by partitioning the area in n number of partitions in an interval of area from A to B. This is the figure. There are two steps for using trapezoidal rule. Partition AB into the set x sub 0, x sub 1, x sub 2, x sub 3, up to x sub n, so that there are n sub-intervals of equal width. In the figure above, the integral of area is partitioned into 4 trapezoids. Every sub-interval are equal to the one another, so x sub 0 to x sub 1 is equal to x sub 1 up to x sub 2. Therefore, the interval x sub 3, x sub 1, x sub 2 is also equal to x sub 3, x sub 4. The integral f of x dx from A to B is estimated by adding the areas of all the trapezoids as illustrated below. The width delta x, if each subinterval is given by delta x is equal to b minus a all over n. In the last figure, the integral is f of x dx from A to B is equal to delta x all over 2 times the quantity function of x sub 0 plus 2 function of x sub 1 plus 2 function of x sub 2 plus 2 function of x sub 3 plus function of x sub 4. When x sub 0, x sub 1, x sub 2 up to x sub 4 are the partition intervals. In general, f of x dx is equal to delta x all over 2 times the quantity function of x sub 0 plus 2 function of x sub 1 plus 2 function of x sub 2 plus 2 function of x sub n minus 1 plus f function of x sub n. Example. Find the integral of square root of x minus 1 dx from 1 to 2 using trapezoidal rule, and the partition number or n is equal to 6, and get every values of interval. Obtain first the width. Delta x is equal to b is 2, then minus a is equal to 1, all over n is equal to 6, so 2 minus 1 all over 6 equal to 1, 6. To get the interval, add the previous values to the values of every interval. X sub 0 is equal to 1, so plus 1 over 6 will be equal to, x sub 1 will be equal to 7 over 6, x sub 2 8 over 6, x sub 3 9 over 6, x sub 4 10 over 6, x sub 5 11 over 6, and x sub 6 is equal to 2. So, square root of x minus 1 dx from 1 to 2 is equal to 1 over 6 all over 2. Function of 1 plus 2 function of 7 over 6 plus 2 function of 8 over 6 plus 2 function of 9 over 6 plus 2 function of 10 over 6 plus 2 function of 11 over 6 plus function of 2 is equal to 0.65368. In the original integral, square root of x minus 1 dx from 1 to 2, the integral is equal to 2 over 3 times the quantity x minus 1 raised to 3 over 2 from 1 to 2 is equal to 0.66667. The relative true error from approximate value to the original value is relative is 0.6667 minus 0.65368 all over 0.66667 times 100%, and the relative true error is equal to 1.94849%.